Hey guys, welcome back to the Mind of Brandon, and welcome back to another Sexy Saturday. As indicated by the title of this video, Coach Corey Wayne couldn't help me. So if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you probably already know who Coach Corey Wayne is, but in case you don't, basically he runs a YouTube channel where he posts one video a week, or at least that's his posting schedule right now. But he posts videos on that are intended to help coach people on how to be more successful with women. He also wrote a book with the same purpose. It's called How to Be a 3% Man, and he suggests that people read that book 10 to 15 times to really get the information to sink in, and so that people will just kind of instinctively know what to do whenever they're around women, right? And I already posted a video talking about my results after reading that book 15 times and how it really wound up not actually being all that helpful to me. Even though he says, all of his best clients, all of his most successful clients have read the book 10 to 15 times. Before I read the book, I was a virgin. I never had a girlfriend before. I'd never even been on a date. And then after I read the book 15 times, I was still a virgin. I still had never had a girlfriend before, and I'd still never even been on a date, right? So yeah, it actually wound up not being all that helpful to me. But what I wanted to do with today's video is respond to a couple of comments that I got on that video where I was talking about my results after the 15 reads. And I will have that video linked down in the description box if you guys want more details. But the first comment says,
I think you should work on your looks too, my friend, your style, your way of talking, and also exercise to let off a positive impression on others so they can see that you're successful and can take care of yourself. It's not just about wanting girls, but wanting to improve yourself to have a girl, not just socially, but physically and mentally.
Yeah, so about that. This is what I looked like back in high school. As you can see, I was a bit chubbier back then. And this is me back in 2011. Well, hopefully you get the picture. The point is, I have been taking care of myself in these ways. I used to be significantly chubbier. And, I've been changing my diet, going on walks, going on hikes, going on jogs. I've been, doing push-ups, sit-ups, lifting weights, right? Jumping jacks, just doing whatever I can to look better, feel better, whatever. I will say, though, for the past year, I haven't been doing quite as much exercise because I did come down with gastroesophageal reflux disease, also known as GERD. And intense exercise is kind of a no-no if that's a condition that you suffer from, or at least that's the case with me. I have suffered internal injuries in my respiratory system due to lifting weights while being a GERD sufferer, and definitely has caused some discomfort going on jogs, doing push-ups, sit-ups, etc. So, haven't been doing quite as much exercise the past year, but definitely have done plenty in the past to help get me to where I am now. And for the record, I have been getting style and grooming tips from Alpha M. That being said, I had already lost a bunch of weight before I ever started doing in-depth research into how to be more successful with women, before I ever heard of Coach Corey Wayne. And when I lost all that weight, it did give me a pretty big boost in confidence. So much so that I made a move on a woman for the first time in years. Because in the past, when I was going through the public education system, I'd occasionally make a move on a girl. But yeah, it was really rare. That the times it happened, it was few and far between. There was years apart the times that I'd make a move on a chick. But yeah, after I lost a bunch of weight, I was feeling a lot more confident. I was looking in the mirror yeah, I look good, and women that I worked with all seemed like they were interested in me. So one day I decided I should go ahead and make a move on one of these women. One of them had a boyfriend. There was another that, we had really good chemistry. She seemed right for me, basically. But my friend was, obsessed with her, this guy that I helped get a job there. and in my mind that made her off limits, right? So I didn't make a move on her. I made a move on this girl who really, like, she was the hottest one among them. We really didn't have that much chemistry, at least as much as, compared to the other ones. There was kind of a little bit of chemistry there. She did seem interested, and my friend wasn't obsessed with her. She didn't have a boyfriend, as far as I knew, right? And so I decided to go ahead and go for it. But the thing is, I didn't know what kind of a move to make on her, right? Because, I really wasn't a very traditional individual. The idea of, like, asking her to dinner, doing a traditional type of date or whatever, was not something I was comfortable with. It just seemed like kind of an awkward thing to do. Like, it wasn't true to who I was, right? So I was, like, really having trouble figuring out, what do I do, right? And one day while I was, like, in that mindset, like, pondering that question, I'm at work, and this song comes on the stereo, and the person singing says, "Just kiss her. Just kiss her." And it seemed like a sign from the universe, right? At that time in my life, I usually didn't think like that, like oh, the universe is sending me signs. But at that moment, I felt like it's a sign. So I kind of went a little Captain Kirk on that chick, and really it went better in my head than it went in practice. Yeah, it did not go smoothly at all. She told me, "Get off of me," right? So I removed myself from her, right? And yeah, basically what happened is I drove her into the arms of this other guy that worked there, the friend, the guy that was obsessed with this other chick that worked there, right? She started texting him like crazy, and eventually he just asked her to dinner, and they went to dinner together, and I don't know all the details after that, but eventually they got married. Yep. But yeah, the reason I wanted to tell this story is because that guy was chubbier than I was. I lost all that weight, got all this confidence, and supposedly confidence is what women like. I confidently made a move on her, confidently went Captain Kirk on her. Yeah, so much for that. But yeah, this guy, he's chubbier than me. And last time I saw him, he looked even more chubby than what I remember. So yeah, I don't really view this to be a issue of a lack of proper fitness and taking care of myself. But let's go ahead and have a look at the second comment I wanted to respond to.
What the fuck? I was looking up other people's options on Corey Wayne and found your video. Good God, are you for real? 32 and you've never even been on a date? You blew my mind. I don't even know where to start. You might need to do the personal coaching from Corey, or I would be thinking about even going to a counselor at this point.
Well, it has been a while since I've been to a counselor, and there's a reason for that. It's because it didn't seem very helpful to me. Actually, it seemed like a total fucking waste of time. But, I've thought of, calling Corey or, sending him an email. I was thinking about doing that back when I was still reading his book, but I thought, well, I should probably get through it 15 times before I resort to giving him a call or sending him an email. But once I got through his book 15 times and, trying to apply his teachings wasn't really working out, I kind of got a bit discouraged and started losing confidence in his ability to help me out. I really felt like I knew what kind of things he'd say to me anyway. Stuff like, what would James Bond do? James Bond, of course, is a fictional character, right? What would Yoda say in this situation, right? Again, another fictional character. Yeah, I just feel like I know his teachings well enough. I read his book 15 times. I've watched a shit ton of his videos. I've rewatched a bunch of his videos several times. So I really feel like I understand his teachings pretty well, well enough to know what kind of responses he'd have, what kinds of things he'd say to me. And I don't think there's anything more that he can do for me. I mean, it's at a point where when I watch his videos, I just feel like shit because, he's saying stuff that I've already heard and it's not helping me. And, I'm just feeling discouraged, But, that being said, if you go to his site and you look up how much it costs to book a phone coaching session, it's like $1,000. If you want him to respond via email, it's like $500. Okay, at this point, I feel like if I called him or sent him an email, that I just wind up feeling like I was scammed. Okay, I already bought his book. I read it 15 times, watched a shitload of his videos, rewatched them. I don't feel like he's been helping me. I see no evidence that he can help me. Why am I gonna spend $500 to email the guy, $1,000 to book a phone coaching session? It doesn't seem like the smart thing to do.
It sounds like you're in such rough shape. Do you have many female friends, or even a sister? You might want to start with just getting a good friend that's a girl who will teach you how to interact better with women.
Well, I've definitely been through plenty of lady friends in my lifetime, and some of them I was actually pretty close to, but they weren't really all that helpful. They might have tried to help every now and then, but it just didn't work. And I do have a sister. She's probably the first female that I got advice from on this stuff. This would have been back when we were both kids, so it's advice that I'm getting from a freaking kid. But she'd tell me things like, oh, look a girl's number up in the phone book, and then give her a call and let her know how you feel about her, right? Or write a love letter, right? And I tried both of those on like 2 different girls. Yeah, that didn't work. Right? Nothing works. In my experience, nothing works. No one's advice ever fucking works.
Also, if I were you, I'd sign up for an online dating site. It's pretty easy to get dates on those.
Well, not in my experience, it's not. I actually recently did a video talking about my experience with dating websites. In my experience, it doesn't seem at all easy to get dates off of these sites. It seems damn near impossible, actually. That's my experience. I've been trying out a whole bunch of different dating websites over the years, for over a decade now. Trying out free sites, pay sites like Match.com, Zeus, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, Tinder, right? A whole bunch of different dating websites, just messaging dozens and dozens of women, right? No luck whatsoever. But yeah, I've tried like looking up, advice, how to make the ultimate online dating profile. What are the do's and don'ts of writing your profile? Uploading photos, messaging women, that sort of thing. Getting all sorts of advice, trying to apply various teachings here or there. Coach Corey Wayne, he actually suggests if you're, doing the online dating thing, you make an awesome profile and you just leave it up there. You don't message women, you let them come to you, right? And so the last time that I was using Match.com, the last time I was a paying subscriber to that, they were doing this thing where you pay for the first 6 months, and if you can't find love in the first 6 months, then you get the next 6 months free. So, but in order to qualify for those 6 months free, you actually have to message a bunch of women in the first 6 months. Okay, so I was messaging women for the first 6 months so I could qualify for the 6 months free. But then when I got the 6 months free, I stopped messaging women, just kind of left my profile there, waited for them to come to me, and of course they didn't. So those 6 months, the 6 free months, were all used up, and no luck, right? And so I decided not to continue my subscription to Match. Now, to clarify, I'm not saying that Coach Corey Wayne's teachings, or anyone else's teachings for that matter, I'm not saying that they won't work for anyone. I'm just saying that they haven't been working for me, okay? And that's something I've noticed, is that very often stuff that does work for other people doesn't seem to work for me. It's really weird. I don't understand why that is, but I've read Corey Wayne's book 15 times. At the end of the book, it says, "You are now a 3% man." Read that 15 times. I don't feel like a 3% man. I feel like I actually am just as clueless as I was before I started reading that fucking book. Okay? I don't know what fucking works. I don't know what to fucking do. I think all I can do is just keep trying. I'll just keep trying. That's it. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with other people. If you're interested in watching my future videos, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I will see you all in the next one. So have a good one, and peace.